Alright, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nika, and with Tuesday night's episode of The Have and Have-Nots. It's season 6, episode 27, The Damn Defibrillator. Before I begin the review, I apologize for not being on camera right now and doing this in podcast format. As you know, I've been having problems with my sinuses, and it got really bad last night to the point I ended up going to the emergency room, only to find out I have a small sinus infection. So, I'm trying to push through with my reviews and still live life like it's golden while I don't feel worth a damn. So I apologize to you right now for this podcast style review. All of them going to be like that. I think I'm going to try my best to see if the swelling and the pressure around my head and eyes go down by Fuck Shit Friday tomorrow, enough for me to be on camera. But many of you have told me that you do not mind, these form of videos sometimes when I'm unable to be here. So to not be behind on my videos and to still, do my part here on the YT, here I am to do it the best way I know how, honey. So let's get into the review. We open up with Hannah screaming, and remember her boo Derek was working nearby. He hears her. But his partner that he was working with didn't at first. So he tells him, listen, when he hear it and he listens, he can too hear Hannah screaming. So they head out running towards Hannah's house. But she runs into them. She's got the blood still on her shirt from when Malik attacked her. And she's almost incoherent. She's so upset and scared. But he tells her to calm down, and she's saying call the police. So Derek goes into the house and he checks it out to see if he see anybody. Well, apparently Malik has been able to escape. He done jumped in the van with Candace and RK, and they done took off, right? So the police arrive, and Hannah's telling them that the person was dressed in all black and that he was asking about her daughter Candace. And he said that the person said she owed him money. Police tell her, well, for tonight, the kitchen is considered a crime scene. So please don't, try to be very careful with going in there. Make sure you lock your doors. We see that he got in through a window. And, just try to take care of yourself overnight. And we'll return in the morning. Derek says she gonna be okay because he gonna be there to look after her. Hannah says she okay for now, but she admits she's only been that scared one other time in her life, and that's when she was 18 years old and was raped. And for some reason, that made Derek start crying. So what the hell is Derek's backstory? He told Hannah he was sorry that she didn't deserve that. He asked her to pray. To help her, he asked to help carry the weight with her. She said, Candace just ain't seeming to get no better. He said, well, maybe we should pray for her. She says then that, I can't pray for her. Last time I went to God for her, he told me to stop. And it seemed like since I stopped, it has gotten progressively worse. She gonna end up getting me and my son killed. He said, well, let's try anyway, because, see, I know the power of prayer, and God is real, and he can make a change in this girl's life if we just believe this and continue to pray for her. He said, my mama prayed for me, so I know that this will work. So he gets with her, and he starts trying to say a prayer, but, baby, he is overcome with emotions. He begins to cry, and I'm confused, but because he began... he just broke down so bad, Hannah ended up consoling him. And I'm like, but she the one that was attacked. I just need to know Derek's backstory. Did he rape Hannah? I at first thought that, then I kind of said, well, maybe nah, because she said it was an older guy. But he acting like he about to confess or trying to confess in some way. Anyway, down to the hospital, Jeffrey meets Madison, the nurse, and I felt like it was some kind of attraction going on between the two of them, because Madison was so into what Jeffrey was talking about. He didn't even realize someone had sneaked into David's room, but Jeffrey saw it. See, he originally came to the nursing station asking for pain medications because David was in pain. Madison said that he couldn't give him any more for a couple of hours, but if it gets too bad, go ahead and let him know, and he can get on the phone and call the doctor and see what the next course of action would be. Now, Jeffrey notices that his daddy hospital room door is closing. He said, did you see anybody walking in? Is this visiting hours? Madison says no. So now, Jeffrey is wondering what the hell going on, because he clearly saw his dad's hospital door closed. So he goes back in there, and who is in there? None other than his mother, the Queen of Terror herself, Veronica. He telling her to leave. She said, boy, please, this is my husband. He said, leave, Mom. She goes into how Jeffrey and David ruined her life. She said that David left her for a whore who is burned and dead, and she hoping like hell. She praying that what her name was, Erica, is burning in hell. Veronica is a whole new level of crazy, okay? She then starts hitting David, telling him to wake up. Just doing too much, in my opinion. Jeffrey asking her to leave. Then he asking her, don't touch him, per the doctor's orders. But she kept doing what she wanted to do, to the point where Jeffrey had no alternative in his mind but to grab the defibrillator and zap her ass one time with it. And child, he shocked the demon to sleep. I screamed. Do you hear me? I screamed. Now, y'all, that was funny as hell. I know it probably is wrong. He shouldn't have did it, but child, she shook and laid slap on out. Get up off my daddy is what he said and he meant. Now, Mitch's family still think Benny did the stabbing to the uncle. Mitch called Benny and told him, asked him where he was. He said he had the artesian waiting on Candace, and he telling him, man, don't leave. In fact, if you don't want to sit there, get yourself a room, but stay on the low, and make sure if you are by yourself, don't never be by yourself. Stay in public view. Benny said, but y'all know I didn't do it. He said, yeah, they know it, but they can't reach the guys that we've contracted to deal with you, so you're going to have to lay low until then. Benny does realize he see two faces over there at that bar that he seemed like he done seen them before. So Mitch asked him to ask the guy if his name Kenny. I think that was what he said. When Benny asked, dude said no. So Mitch said, man, just stay put. Just stay in the public and stay put. Now Mitch family say they working on getting someone on the inside of the jail to get Wyatt, the real perpetrator that stabbed Vinny. And they still trying to call the hit people for Benny and stop that. But he warns him, I understand that Benny got a payment coming up. Mitch said, man, look, that's how all this started. Benny was trying to return the money, and that's when everything went to the left. The relative said, well, as long as he got interest, we good. Mitch says, he never bought that tow truck. Stall him out. He's a good kid. The relative said he's black, and I ain't never met a good black person. I said, oh, so the Italians, it's racist, huh? Figures that I've heard that about them. A lot of people said bitch. Now, Mitch says that that the relative needs to, broaden their horizons, because this is a good kid. So the relative say, look, long as he got his money, got our money, and he got the interest, he good. Mitch say he don't have no interest, he just got the money. So the relative said, well, the rules say I'm going to have to go and break his leg if he don't have all the money. Mitch said, how this, the relative said, how this work. Miss asked them, can't they just stall this kid out for him just this one time, cut him some slack? And the relative said, hell no. Miss said, well, I'll go talk to Grandma Rose. The relative said, go on and do it. She gonna explain it to you even better, boo. So go on and tell her if you want her. Then Justin pulls up in front of Hannah's house, as backup for another cop, which the cop that he came to help seemed not to really want his help, but he goes on to explain this big old dude is standing right here in front of this woman's house. She done called. I went up to him next to him for ID. He's not willing to show ID or talk. So Justin goes up and asks him for ID, and dude punches him, which in turn makes Justin arrest him, which is what he wanted all along, but he punched his ass back. Dude is the hitman hired by the Malones to get in that jail and handle Wyatt. And that's exactly where he ended up, in the jail cell with Wyatt, looking at Wyatt like, I'm here to kill you or hurt you. Meanwhile, Wyatt feeling so bad, he asking Justin for drugs he had promised, and Justin said, I'm gonna get it to you when I can, but now that you gotta sell it, it might not happen. So Wyatt frustrated, but he has yet to notice that this big ass man is sitting at him, glaring at him. Child Veronica done woke up in the hospital gown in a room, and she demanding the police be called because Jeffrey shocked her with that defibrillator. She wants him, his ass in jail. The doctor and Madison are like, you say your son did this to you? And she said yes. She feeling faint but want Jeffrey ass locked up. Now, at this point, David is somewhat awake, and he overheard some of this stuff. He's trying to convince Jeffrey to go check on his mom, and Jeffrey said no, he don't care if she hurt or not, or if she dies. Madison comes in to give David his pain medications, and he did tell Jeffrey that, your mom is saying you shocked her. He said, I did. He said, you could have hurt her badly, and she wants me to call the police, but I don't want to take that route. Jeffrey said, don't lose your job over me. It's fine. Call them. I did it, and I don't care. Madison saying, please don't admit that. I'll have to call and report it. Jeffrey said, do what you got to do. Derek called Catherine, woke her up, and told her what happened at the house. Of course, Catherine on the way. Child David was, Jim was in the bed, unbeknownst to Catherine. She was in there sleep. He was in there sleep too. He tell her that she disrupted his sleep. She told him, well, get up and get out of my room. You shouldn't be in here no way. We got other bedrooms. Get up out of my room, Jim. And she go to get dressed. Then Jim gets a call from Jeffrey asking him to help him get a guard outside his dad's room. Jim said the FBI should provide a person. Well, Jeffrey said he asked and they said no, and he don't have no money. So Jim says that he'll get somebody over there to stand as guard for David for his protection. Now you got Candace, RK, and Malik in the van, and apparently Malik has died. So RK checked his pockets and find that he was in there doing what RK said he was doing, which was stealing. He done stole that money that Benny had got from Vinny. So they take that money. They both get out the car. Candace rips her dress. She gets a light from RK and ignites the gas tank, causing it to blow up. With Malik inside, but I'm assuming Malik dead. At least I hope he was dead, child, because if he ain't, he dead now. He gone to the upper room. Then, as they're walking away, she talking about she need to get away for a little while. It's too much there. Really, Candace? Then Benny calls her, and she is, talking about she been detained and begs to see him the next day. He say, cool, but you gonna have to come to Mom's. I'm not gonna be sitting here wild goose chasing you around. And so she says, yes. Hannah wants to call Benny, but Derek is saying that he'll call her. She concerned if you call him from my phone, he's gonna be upset. But according to Derek, he's not going to let him. He's going to explain it and keep him from being panicky. Catherine then arrives, gets up in the bed to talk with Hannah. So Derek calls Benny and tells him what happened and tells him to come home. Mitch had just told Benny to stay put and he was on his way. But y'all know if Hannah's hurt or he think anything going on with his mama, he leaving regardless of what Mitch said. So we see Benny heading out, and those guys that were sitting at the bar begins to follow him. He enters the garage, and he's definitely sure now they're following him. So he takes off running, and for some reason, his young ass allowed these old men to catch up with him, and they started beating his ass. He managed to get away from one. He managed to get one down and beat the other one up, allowing the one that he kicked down to get his bearings and grab his gun. So when he did that, the old boy started shooting at Benny, and Benny is running. They don't get him, but they on his ass. And that brought us to the conclusion of that episode. Now, I feel first of all, I need to know what's up with Derek. For real. What's going on with Derek? Why is Derek, so emotional? What's his backstory? And Candace, your son died and you didn't feel like it was too much death, but now you feel like it's too much death going on, so you just want to take the little money that you didn't that Malik stole out of from Benny, really, and run off with it, leaving your brother once again in a lurch, because these people looking for him for this money. It's bad enough he didn't have the interest, but now he don't even have the money because you do. Child, this is a whole bunch of bull going on. And next week, I guess we're going to get a little bit more of the bull. Jim going to find out that they down there trying to kill his son down in the jail, amongst other stuff. So y'all just stay tuned. I feel more like this was a filler episode, even though it was somewhat entertaining to me. I like the defibrillator part. Child, that killed me. That boy zapped his own mama with that defibrillator to get her up off his daddy. I hollered. That was funny to me. But anyway, that was it. That was all. Y'all get down in the panty section and let me know your thoughts and opinions on Tuesday night's episode of the Have and Have Nots. I will do my best to try to get better so that I can get on camera and you know, fool out loud with y'all a little while. Remember, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember on your way out to thumbs up the video, comment down in the panty section, give me your thoughts and opinions, especially about this Derek dude. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I am not always in podcast format, so please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, become a member of the family for the free 99. Also, hit your notification bell button so that each and every time I'm down here on these YouTube streets, you will be alerted that I'm here and you can join in on the conversations going on via recorded videos or a live broadcast. I will see you guys back next for Black and Crew. Peace.